Did you ever feel like pushing that door open at work, walking out, and hitting the open road? Well, my name is Nick Kessler, and I teach shop. And this is my buddy, Brian Fulmer. He teaches too. And let's not forget about our former student, Wolfie. And when summer comes, we turn into a 3-person film crew that hits the highways and byways of North America in style, riding drop top in our 1968 Caddy. Our main mission, to educate you about the places we visit. No classroom rules or lesson plans here. Just complete freedom to show you what this great nation is about. This is Road Trip Masters. This week's episode has us cruising the 68 to the beautiful town of Lake Placid, New York, high in the Adirondack Mountains. Founded in the early 19th century, Lake Placid is famous for hosting the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympic Games. Towards the end of the 19th century, people started coming to the Adirondacks due to its high elevation, numerous mountain lakes, and cool summertime temperatures that served as a tremendous relief to the lower elevation populace of the Northeast. It is also home to abolitionist John Brown's farm, as well as Melville Dewey of Dewey Decimal fame. Today, Lake Placid is known for its year-round recreational activities, which suits almost anyone who enjoys the outdoors. And for the person who just wants to relax and get away, look how peaceful and serene it is. And as we traveled further in the Adirondacks, we could sense that we were almost to our first stop, the Whiteface Lodge. Open in 2005 and considered to be eco-friendly, the Whiteface Lodge has everything to service and pamper its guests, from a world-class romantic spa and salon to a vintage bowling alley, year-round heated indoor and outdoor pool and movie theater, koi and trout pond, private white sand beach club with bar and grill, and yes, even an underground heated parking garage. I had to find out more about this amazing Grand Lodge in the Adirondacks, and that's where I caught up with Chris, the GM here at Whiteface. How many rooms do you have here?
Well, we have 96 suites. This is an all-suite resort. One of the great parts about these is basically in this beautiful lodge and resort, it's like each and every guest is getting their own vacation home within the resort. Our grand lodges from 2,500 square feet to the presidential at 3,600 square feet.
Holy
Bigger
Lord.
than my house. We have units that sleep up to 10 people.
Wow, that's incredible.
Comfortably, with all the amenities of a full-service hotel.
You go to a lot of resorts and you check in and there's extra fees on the activities. Tell me about Whiteface. Is that true here or no?
You know, what we do here is what's called a resort-inclusive concept. What that means is when you come to this resort, everything you expect from a resort, we're going to include for you. From valet parking and internet to popcorn during your movie, canoes, kayaks, ice skates to skate with, it's all part of your experience. So your room covers you for all of that.
So let's say bowling, covered?
Absolutely.
If I take my family out with s'mores, you set me up, that's included?
Original Hershey bars, nothing but the best.
Restaurants on property.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about those.
They vary from an old-fashioned ice cream parlor to our fine dining canoe great room.
Let's take that great room where you eat and dine.
Yeah.
You have a view right of Whiteface Mountain, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. The way that it was oriented, this great room you see back here, is the 37-foot high windows were centered on Whiteface Mountain where the Olympics have been held.
And that's where the downhill was, correct?
Absolutely. Great. Yeah, the downhill, the giant slalom, the slalom, all the alpine events were held right there on that mountain that you're looking at when you have breakfast and dinner.
Chris, thank you so much, bro.
Nick,
Looking forward to checking in and getting settled into this beautiful, I'm going to say, Grand Lodge.
I'll take it.
During our stay at the Whiteface Lodge, we were told to make sure that we stop by the Lake Placid Pub and Brewery, where Brian started his journey on the brewing side of this legendary place.
Walk us through the process here.
This is the HL beer, the hot liquor back. This is what we'll use to mix with the malted barley while we're mashing it into the mash tun. This is where we'll mix the hot liquor with our malted barley.
Okay.
I'll take the wort from in here at the false bottom and put it into the kettle.
All right, so now we go from this to this. And what are we doing in this chamber?
So this is the boiling kettle. Once we are done with our hour of steeping, we'll transfer that wort into here, which is called the lautering process. During the boil, I'll be adding hops.
We went from one room, now we're in here.
Yep.
And holding tanks?
These are called fermentation
Okay.
vessels, or FVs. After the boil, we will start a process called knocking out, which means we're cooling down the beer to about 70 degrees from boiling temperature. We will pitch our yeast, which means just pouring the yeast into the fermentation vessel.
The brew stays in these tanks for about 2 weeks in order to ferment and condition. After that time elapses, It heads downstairs to the clarification tanks, where Josh finished explaining the brew process.
As Dennis told us, we just went from that fermentation room, and this is considered one of our 2 cold rooms. We like to maintain the temperature around 40 degrees in here. Okay. We have some tanks for clarification and conditioning. We're going to clarify the beer, which means we're going to add a very organic substance that's going to grab onto anything that's in there that we don't want and drop it to the bottom.
Okay.
Yep.
My next question will be is, where do we bottle it at?
Everything that's brewed here is just for here.
So Josh, you're telling me we're going from tank to tap.
Right here.
I guess there's only one thing left to do. Try something.
Let's do it.
So Josh and I filled up a sampler platter, tapped with 4 ounces of all the brews made at the pub, where we went from light to dark. All 6 were exploding with freshness and flavor that one can only achieve by going straight from the tank to the tap. But all this sampling was really making me hungry, and what goes better with a great beer than a great burger? That's where I caught up with Todd in the kitchen, where we decided to make 2 burgers, the Schultze burger and the caramelized pear bacon burger. Todd started off with 2 half-pound patties, flavored up with Montreal steak seasoning, and then placed it on the grill.
Kind of rolls or?
Oh, they're just basic Kaiser rolls.
Okay.
They go up into the salamander toast.
How many of these burgers are you guys going through?
I'd say we did probably 400 a day.
400
on the weekend. Yeah.
So this thing's loaded.
Oh yeah, all
Okay.
day long. I'll take the buns out. They seem to be toasted enough.
Okay. All right, the burgers are grilling. Now you're going to start with the setup.
The Schultze burger gets romaine lettuce, tomato, American and cheddar cheese, ketchup, and mayo on the other bun. Now time for the pear and bacon burger. Spring mix lettuce on both buns, tomato, and onions. Now back to the meat. The Schultze gets some bacon added on top, combined with that American and cheddar cheese from before. Its buddy, the pear bacon, is adorned with that beautiful caramelized topping. With goat cheese added on as the final layer, I told you it would get the cheese. They are now both ready to go into the broiler to fuse those flavors together. As Todd was finishing those burgers, I started to think about how Josh was telling me that's not uncommon for members of the 1980 Olympic gold medal hockey team, as well as other Olympic greats, to stop by and hang out while they're in town. And I can see why. These burgers look so good, I just had to dig in. I didn't even remove the tomato skewer that held them together.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem.
All right, let's go finish these.
And finish I did, and Nick helped me out too. Combined with the beer, Lake Placid Pub and Brewery delivers a 1-2 knockout punch that you need to experience when you're in Lake Placid.
Coming up next on Road Trip Masters, we head up to the Lake Placid Olympic Sports Complex for a little training and an adrenaline rush. Then later, Brian literally takes a walk on the wild side. We're back and ready to hit the Lake Placid Olympic Sports Complex, where Brian and I wanted to go down the bobsled course. But before we subject ourselves to this, we wanted to gather more info. And what a better person to tell us what we are getting involved in than John, the head man here at the Olympic Sports Complex.
This complex features the home of the only bobsled skeleton luge track in the northeastern United States.
So combined, all one track.
All one track, but the track that you guys are going on later, it's the track that was used for the 1932 and the 1980 Olympic Winter Games. You guys are going to reach speeds of about, what do we have, 75, 76 degrees right now? So You'll probably reach speeds of about 60, 62 miles per hour.
So when we hit those turns, what G's are we pulling, you think, down towards the bottom part of the course?
You're going to do 1.5, 2 Gs.
So the track we're going to be on, when you look at all the great bobsled teams, we're looking at the East Germans.
Yeah.
We're Switzerland. And now us?
And no.
But we're gonna,
if you put it that way, you went from here to, what's really neat is bobsled got its name because at the start, the athletes used to sit in the sled and bob.
Oh.
And that's how they got their start. But in 1932, it was different. Here in Lake Placid was the first time they actually physically pushed the sled to start.
All right, I guess it's time, Brian.
Good luck, buddy. John?
If I don't see you
Good
again.
luck.
I'll see you somewhere at the bottom. Enjoy.
I hate this. This nerves. It's killing me. So it was time. The way it works is they drive the bobsled up to the start point and drop her off. Our team went over our sled, making sure the steering was adjusted and the wheels and wheel bearings properly lubricated and up to snuff for maximum speed. Then it was time to move her to the track and into position. It was getting close to go time. But first, we need helmets. After finding the right fit, we then went out to get into the sled. But I needed to make the sign of the cross, and all of a sudden, a great calm came over me, and I was ready to rock and roll and crank to go down and experience the run. With a camera on driver Chris's helmet and another one on top, we were ready, and here it is.
Give her a good job, Sugie.
Beautiful adrenaline rush. I was a little nervous, but I felt calm.
I was insane. That was cool. That was a rush. That was a rush.
It was a rush, and we wanted more, and we found it. At the Biathlon range, where we decided to compete against each other, but not before meeting our trainer, Chris. I'll tell you what, Brian, here we are at the Biathlon range. I hear the guns firing, which we're going to experience. Is that right, Chris?
Oh, absolutely. You guys, we're going to teach you a few things about how to shoot a biathlon rifle, and then we're going to put you through your paces.
Before we do that, explain to America biathlon, for those who don't know.
So biathlon's a sport that combines cross-country skiing and rifle marksmanship. And biathletes ski courses of varying lengths, and then they come in and they shoot on a 50-meter range. Each time they come in, they shoot 5 times. And when they shoot prone, where they're lying down, they're shooting at a target that's about a little bit bigger than a quarter. And then when they shoot standing, they're shooting at a target that's about the size of a saucer.
You gotta be kidding me. Fulmer, what do you think?
No problem. No problem. I want to shoot at a dime. Yeah,
Chris told us more about the biathlon and how popular it is in Europe. So we were motivated to get involved and try this out. And what a better way to do it than for Brian and I to face off against each other in our own mini biathlon. We decided to run 1 mile and then finish it at the gun range. Coming up next on Road Trip Masters, who will win this classic biathlon showdown, me or Brian? Then a quick trip to see what's wild in the Adirondack Mountains. Welcome back. So before Brian and I squared off in competition, we had to receive proper firearm instruction. Chris explained the .22 caliber rifle that we would be using, and then made us watch a safety video to boot. It was time, range time, for some hands-on application. We squeezed off several practice rounds to get used to the weapon. I hit 10 out of 10, and Brian hit 9 out of 10. All right, we got the drone rolling. Drone's up in the air. We got our GoPros. Fulmer and I are gonna run a lap and try to knock down the targets. 10 of them. We'll see what happens.
Good luck, buddy. Sportsmanship. On your mark. Get set. Go.
This is beautiful.
How many laps are we doing?
Just one.
I think I pulled my hamstring. I think I went out too fast.
It's the adrenaline. I'm dying already, Chris.
Straight out. When you get out, take a right.
Oh, God.
I'm going uphill. And I was going to agree to 2. My heart rate's up. This way.
I don't. Oh, yeah.
Through those trees.
I guess.
Here they are, right here. All right, who's the likely candidate for the heart attack? Should we be worried?
So there we were, like 2 Olympic champions coming into the home stretch. Brian was ahead, but I knew he missed 1 target in the practice round. So I stopped early to try to lower my heart rate, hoping that Brian would miss on the range for me to take victory. He was really taking his time before he squeezed off his first round. He hit, then I hit, then another for Brian, and another for me. 3 targets left each. Brian hit. We almost hit at the same time. 2 targets to 1, but then disaster. I missed. Brian sank his last target. I hit my 4th, the agony of defeat. But like buddies, we hugged. Brian, victorious. I didn't want him relishing in the moment for too long. So we quickly packed up and headed towards our next destination, the Wild Center, where we heard they had a new attraction called the Wild Walk. You know, the Wild Center's main mission is to tell the story of the Adirondack Mountains, and there's tons to do. From canoe and stand-up paddleboard trips on the Roquette River to nature walks on their 81 acres of trails located directly on premise. And don't forget about the Pines Wild Playing Area, where kids can literally have fun in a natural playground that is made entirely from the surrounding woods. No plastic or metal slides here, just 100% all natural. That's why Brian and I brought our families to explore this natural paradise. So where to start? With the Wild Walk, of course. That's where Brian caught up with Rob to take the tour.
Rob, what is this thing? What's Chris doing here?
This is just a really cool exhibit that shows us how superior animals living in the forest are to human beings. They need to survive. They need to worry about being eaten.
So you're saying if Chris puts his head in here and to listen, and now he'll be able to start listening to his mother better with this thing?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Did you know that the Adirondack State Park is larger than the Grand Canyon, Glacier, and Yosemite National Parks put together? It comprises 25% of the state of New York, or about 6 million acres. Then Rob and I walked over to the Snag, a recreation of a snapped-off white pine that stands 4 stories tall and large enough to fit a stairway in. And don't forget about the 4-story twig treehouse, complete with swinging bridges. Then off to a favorite with the kids.
Rob, we're up here at one of the hot spots. I hear a lot of kids, a lot of action. What is this exhibit?
So this is probably the most popular spot on Wild Walk. It's a larger-than-life orb web that is suspended 25 feet off the ground that people can get inside and run around and play on.
You ever come here after hours and just rest, just lay in it?
I have.
Now to the highest point on the Wild Walk.
We are on the highest point at the Wild Center, which is the bald eagle's nest on Wild Walk.
What kind of size are eagles' nests? Obviously they can't be this big, can they?
This nest is about 10 feet in diameter, and it is it's close to the size of the largest bald eagle's nest that has ever been found. It was down in Florida. Bald eagle's nests can get close to this big.
This size.
Yeah.
Up next on RTM, it's time to get cute and cuddly with some of the animals from the Adirondack Mountains and see just how quick they are.
Welcome back. We were off to the 54,000 square foot Wild Center that contains many interactive activities and hands-on exhibits that educate its visitors daily on the life and the environment in the Adirondack Mountains. The Wild Center believes that people and the rest of the natural world can thrive together with the help of science. And we can't forget about all the animals that make their home at the Wild Center, from land dwellers that live in the wilderness and are native to the mountains here, to lake, river, and stream critters that thrive and are abundant within the Adirondack State Park. Here I am with a red-tailed hawk. This was the first time I was up close and personal with this magnificent predator that is so sleek and aerodynamic, and you can see why they are called red-tailed hawks. And Wolfie's favorite, the black snake. Well, no, Wolfie's really scared to death of snakes. I should have tossed it on him. But one of the most popular stops are the otters. We had a special honor of being there at the right time. Feeding time. Check this out.
All right, so what's about to happen is Rob, our otters, there he is. And Rob went in there and got some live fish and is about to feed them. You can see how excited they are.
Ready?
He's searching every part of that tank. It's amazing how fast they are.
He's eating.
It's almost like he knows there's one more hiding around. It's coming around. It's coming back, Wolfie. The otter. Very athletic. I like to consider myself an otter. Oh, there he is. There he is again. He's looking for more. It's amazing because he's searching every crevice. Yeah. There's the fish.
Where is it?
Uh-oh. There he is. We got it. And again, what's unique about the exhibits, you're up front. You're in the middle of the action. What a cool exhibit.
It was a cool exhibit. So when in Lake Placid, make the Wild Center part of one of your stops and visit all the beautiful creatures and exhibits. Hey, while driving back, we decided that a boat ride on Lake Placid was in order, and we chose to do it in style aboard Whiteface Lodge's Hacker Craft. Our 2-hour trip motored us around the perimeter of this majestic beauty. Unique in its appearance due to its 3 islands, the lake is perfect for year-round fun to all who visit her. You may be wondering where our famous person segment is. Well, how can we focus on just one individual when in Lake Placid? So much history, from the Miracle on Ice to Eric Heiden's 5 gold medals in speed skating. So we would like to dedicate this portion of the show to every athlete, past or present, who has competed in both Summer and Winter Olympic Games. You are heroes to all of us. Well, that's it for now. Until next time, people, get out there and hit the open road, whether it be planned or unplanned. So until next time, rock on, people, and God bless America.